Well, welcome back to today's section of the general crypto market live analysis, which in this particular episode we'll be discussing what is going on in the general crypto market and what you're meant to expect any moment from now, the future price predictions, and generally the news, the fundamentals, the technicals, or literally everything surrounding Bitcoin and the general crypto market, and of course what other traders and investors and institutions are probably talking about the market and their views generally. So welcome once again, and if you're new to this channel, you make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and just share this particular video, share this particular stream across all your media, all your social media channels, so you get your friends right back on track, so you don't get and there also you don't get to miss a bit. So generally it's been some sort of a boring consolidation in the general crypto markets, the general Bitcoin price, seeing it ever since it peaked at $64,000 and coming down to $30,000 mark, getting to seeing it accumulate for a while. It's actually been boring for the bulls and kind of like disappointing, I must say. But then there are laws we still need to there are laws we still need to talk about. There are laws we still need to like put into projections when we are looking at Bitcoin and the general crypto market. Of course, like I always talk about that the crypto market, the market, no market moves in a straight line, and there are points in the market where we get to see pullbacks. Okay, we get to see pullbacks and accumulation, consolidation for a while before the trend gets to continue in an upward direction, or if possibly the trend wants to flip to the downside, the trend as well gets to break down, or we call that distribution, or anything like that. So Bitcoin has actually been in this consolidation phase, accumulation, I would say, but then it's not been favorable for the horse market. We've been seeing this red and green up and down. Nothing has actually put a significant rally in price over the past getting too much now. So it's been boring, I must say. So in today's stream, today's video, we'll be discussing what is generally happening and what you're meant to expect. So far here is here on my screen, you're already seeing with me the market is already red. You can see Bitcoin already down by 5%, minus 5% in the last 24 hours, and currently trading at the 34,000 levels. And the Bitcoin dominance is still at 47% approximately. And then we have Ethereum already down by like 4%, and it's still trading above $2,100 mark. Also, we have BNB currently trading at $286, all right, which is down by at least 6% in the last 24 hours. Now we have Polkadot trading at $15, which is down by at least 3% in the last 24 hours. We have more of them. We have Doge still down. We have SRP still down. We have VET. Generally, the crypto market has been down for the past 24 hours. Then we already have our stable coins. We have USDC, we have USDT, we have BUSD, all green, which still tells us that in the past 24 hours, we've been seeing money, we've seen volume move from the general crypto market to the stable coins. All right, that's actually why we've been seeing this sell. Money is going off the crypto markets to the stable coins. So that's it for the Bitcoin, the general crypto market cap in the last 24 hours. So we're going to look in the last 1 week what's been happening in the market. So percentage move covered so far in the weekly, and perhaps what we're meant to expect. So over the past 1 week, I must say it's been consolidation, but of course we crashed. We had a fall from 41,000 down to 28,000, and ever since then, altcoins market capitulated, and we've actually been seeing green ever since we started this week. And Bitcoin is still currently trading at above $34,000 with a 2% increase in price over the past 1 week, and dominance of course is still around 47 points, and Ethereum as well still trading above the $2,000 mark, which of course over the past 1 week it has done over 7% in price movement. And we have generally they're all green. Solana already up by 6%. We have Doge already up, XRP already up. Generally every market is kind of like green. If you should check their price movement covered in the past 1 week, it's been fun actually seeing Bitcoin pull up this consolidation, which normally gets to bring also the general the general question, what next, and what are we more likely going to expect any moment from now. So we're going to look at what's been traded so far. We're going to look at the enormous price predictions and what amount of volume have we been trading so far, and So indeed, okay, we have it right here. Bitcoin in the past 1 week, still about, yeah, according to Nomics, it's been up. The total market cap has been up. It's about 12 billion, and then we have the market cap still sitting around 644 billion, and then the change in the past 1 week, we're talking about 77 over 77 billion. And then the dominance, of course, Bitcoin dominance, of course, is sitting around 42 right here, and it's been 78 days ever since we came down from our previous all-time high, making the whole crypto market some sort of a boring space and getting the bulls disappointed as well. So all right, that's it for Bitcoin. So let's check on Ethereum. So far, what has Ethereum been doing in the past 1 week? So Ethereum, so far in the past 1 week, has already covered 7%. I talked about that, and the market cap in the last 7 days is we've seen an increase of about 17 billion in the general Ethereum market, and still the market cap is still trading above 247 billion. That is huge, guys. Okay, that's it for Ethereum. Nothing really scary on the Ethereum market. So we're briefly going to look at BNB, what BNB has been doing in the past 1 week. So we have it right here, BNB, and already 58 days after it hit the previous all-time high, and then we have price change over the past 1 week as -3%. BNB has not actually performed, has not actually done well in the past 1 week, while some other coins are actually doing well. So that's it for BNB. Still within range. Of course, Bitcoin leads the market, and as long as Bitcoin is still within this range, there are chances we just accumulate and then range for a while before any sort of continuation to the upside. So until Bitcoin gets to put up this decisive move to the upside, we're still going to play along these ranges and see altcoins accumulate while they prepare for the long-term target. Of course, the market can get to react to the bear side. You can't always front run that, but generally the market is still on an accumulation mode, and the altcoins are still suffering the consequences of Bitcoin's deceptions, I must say, until it gets to break even. So let's check so far on Nomics, the coins that we added, and the coins that we added, and the top gainers over the past 7 days. So we have right here, we have Malt stable coin in the past 7 days already down by like 1.7%, and then we have what next? We have, which other one? We have Dash Sports over the past 7 days already down about 516% amidst this whole bear and consolidation move. So what next do we have right here that was being added? Okay, we have Inari is already done about over 448% in the past 1 week. And then what else do we have? Again, we have the Coach coin already done about 200 over 2,000% price increase in the past 7 days. Wow, this is huge. Amongst the whole consolidation and altcoins in this bloodbath, some coins are still outperforming. That's great. So let's say what do we have next? Which coin have actually been performing? Then we have the Moonbooks. The Moonbooks actually done over 78% in the last 7 days. That's huge, guys. What next we have here? That looks like what's been added so far in the last 7 days. So what next we have? We have the market gainers. We have the market gainers in the past 7 days so far. Bitcoin Cash, ABC already up by like 90%, and then we have Ethereum Classic already up by like 33%. So what do we have next? We have Bitcoin Gold is already up to like approximately 30%, that's 29% price increase in the past 7 days. And then we have the Zinfin Digital is already up by like 28%. What do we have next on the top gainers of the week? Then we have Fundum already up with about 26% increase in price. And then we have Waves already up with like approximately 25% increase in price in the past 7 days. What do we have next? We have Elrond, okay? Elrond already done about 22% price increase in the past 7 days. And then we have Decred already done about 21% price over the past 7 days. So this still tells us that while Bitcoin is still being in this accumulation phase, consolidation phase, making major altcoins see this bloodbath, there are still coins that are outperforming on the low key. You see them doing very well over the past 7 days. You see them being in green and being in constant rally. So remember, if you are still new to this channel, thanks for joining us once again. So before we get real into the real price action, and perhaps look at more of the fundamentals and news surrounding the whole crypto market and the blockchain ecosystem, and before you get deeper into the stream, you make sure you just subscribe, share, and like. Just get your friends across, so then you don't get to miss a bit, and they as well don't get to miss a bit, so everybody gets a benefit from today's. It's already an interactive class. You make sure as well, while I'm communicating with you, you make sure you drop your comments, share your thoughts, share your views on the current market. So I'm going to pick questions at the end and answer a few questions as well. So far, the state of the market in the past 1 week, we've seen the crypto market cap is still at the 1.4 trillion dollar mark. I always talk about it, that as long as Bitcoin maintains the 1.1 trillion dollar mark, of course it's obvious that the bulls are in charge until we get to lose it. So in the past 7 days, the market is still sitting above 1.4 trillion mark, which is up by at least approximately 3%. We have 2.9%, and of course over the last week. And this of course values all crypto assets at 20% of gold's market cap. That's impressive, guys. So we have the 1 week, okay, still sitting around 1.3, and then generally the market is still held. We've not yet lost anything that could cause further panic in the market. Bitcoin is just generally good. So top of the week, we have already Cathy Woods of ARK Invest, we have it right here on the screen. Cathy Woods of ARK Invest to create Bitcoin ETF under the symbol ARKB. Of course, we all know Cathy Woods as this Bitcoin bull maximalist, which of course a couple of days ago she talked about her long-term Bitcoin projections of Bitcoin going to about $500,000. That's huge, guys. Even if you should think about it, I could remember the early days of Amazon, the early days of the internet at around 2000. You can, when you look at that growth scale, you can as well get a match it to the general crypto market, which still most times when I look at the general adoption coming in from across states, across continents, across different countries, I just get to say that we probably are still very early in the general Bitcoin macro growth phase. So Cathy Woods have actually been a bull maximalist for a long time, and of course ARK Invest is creating the next Bitcoin ETF. So top of the news as well for the week, we have Paraguay already passed the bill to make Bitcoin a legal tender. Well, don't bet on it. That's what I've always been saying. Countries, we had it some weeks ago coming off from El Salvador. We're already having this shift from the Central America. Right now is already shifting to the southern part of America. The adoption is crazy on the rise, and if you should also get to match all data and all fractals, on all fundamentals, we're still kind of like very early in the general crypto market bull phase. Okay, we're still literally early in the game, and most times in the day, that's what I talk about. There's literally no need to panic. Checking on data, checking on historical data, and checking on so far the fundamentals, everything surrounding the crypto market. We kind of like still very early in the game. So what next we're going to talk about? Let's dive into real price action to better understand what's going on in the general crypto market, and why of course the confluence is a tactic that's actually been putting us on this edge to holding it, and we've not yet seen a breakdown over the past 2 months. We've been accumulated under it. So far we have it right there. This is Bitcoin in the daily chart. I talked about this chart a week ago, where we had a couple of bullish divergences, and we see price is still ranging on this accumulation range, this rectangular accumulation range. Of course, we have on-chain analysis. According to on-chain analysis, it suggests that we see a move to the upside, then get to form a big descending triangle for probably break to new all-time highs. Okay, then we have of course, it's going to be very dangerous for the crypto market if we get to lose the $30K mark, which of course generally I always talk about how how it correlates with the Bitcoin general market cap, the general crypto market cap. So that's it for the Bitcoin daily. Still generally on this accumulation range. We've not yet seen a break even or a break to the downside. So that's still heading for the general crypto markets until we see what comes up next from here. So we're going to look into the Bitcoin weekly chart to better understand the confluence is still around surrounding that $30,000 mark. That's probably making us to maintain it all right for a while before the market gets to decide where it's going to move to next. Now we have it right here, the 1.61 Fibonacci extension level on the weekly, still holding price, and price is not looking like it's going to break anytime soon, considering the fact that we already have this bullish divergence on the weekly coming up, and we already have a local bottom confirmed. We already have a local bottom confirmed, and of course this has been weeks we've been testing that. We've been giving us hope that 30K is the bottom, is the general bottom for the market. It's still like telling us that aside the whole consolidation and aside the whole dump and all that in the markets, we probably still will be heading for new all-time highs. They probably like test way higher before perhaps start going down if we are to initiate any sort of a bear market. So that's it for Bitcoin. That's it for the general. That's it for Bitcoin dominance. Still kind of like signaling this bottom, which of course that's support. The current support we maintaining have lots of confluences coming in around 2017, coming around 2018, coming around 2019, which as well gets to put us to these bottoming phase in the general crypto market. So what next on the chart we have? What next we're going to look? Let's look at Bitcoin. What's actually been going on. So I shared this chart last week when I talked about how the whole crypto market has been on this macro rally, and key things to take away here, key things to note here, that one, Bitcoin never gets to retest its previous all-time high anytime we break above it. We can see it right there back in 2011, we can see it right back there in 2013, we see it right back there in 2017, and now we are seeing that similar fractal, that similar approximately 36% deviation, that on field liquidity. We're still currently seeing it in present price action, sitting around $30,000 marks to our previous all-time high, which will bring us to the big question: are we going to see any sort of technical violation where we get to invalidate a whole 10 years of fractals, a whole 10 years of price actions? Are we going to see anything like that? Remember, last week or so I talked about how positive Chinese bans have always been causing, how positive the Chinese ban on any disruptive tech, how positive it has always been in that particular tech industry. We saw how positive it was when they talked about Snapchat, when they talked about Facebook, when they talked about Twitter, and lots of disruptive tech as well. Now they have as well how positive they get to influence the general Bitcoin, the crypto market, whenever they talk about their bans. So, and that ban as well have lots of confluences on this level that we have on field liquidity. So that's it on the Bitcoin macro scale. So if you should check on the Bitcoin macro scale, it's kind of like obvious to understand that Bitcoin was just programmed to go up, that it literally has no top. Think about it. Think about it. A person that bought Bitcoin in 2017, or that bought the Bitcoin 2017 top at around $20,000 approximately, that person is currently at about 50% up in price. And that's why when Michael Saylor always buys Bitcoin, he always has his reasons. His reasons why, because when you check on this scale, when you check on the macro scale, there are huge chances that Bitcoin, of course, could be heading to huge targets at around $350,000 mark. And if you should also get to compare fractals, get to compare check on fundamentals surrounding that, he could possibly be on the right path on what he's doing. And of course, every bull market has a sell-off. We had the first sell-off there 2013, we had now 2017, and which also gives us this yellow line points of, which also validates this yellow line, calling for our next macro top sitting around $350,000 mark. So that's it for Bitcoin. Then when you look at this chart, this is barely an 11 years price data. So we're going to also look at Amazon over the past 20 years, since the early days of the internet. like so you better understand that it's not about the short term. It's not about the short term. It's not about the short term price prediction. You can go on drawing lines. You can go on drawing lines. You can go on drawing channels, your triangles, and all sort of that. But when you put the long term into view, you get to understand that this is actually on a multi-$1,000 move. That it's literally has no top. So there we have Amazon. There we have Amazon coming all the way from the early 2000s. We've actually been seeing this huge surge in price, like it never stopped. We had the bubble burst 2002. Then we had the corona dump at around early 2020, and still we've actually been seeing this price movement. Like when you look at this on a macro scale, over 20 years now, it's been on a constant rally. Like it's been on a constant rally with over 200% increase over the past years. Like over the past decades, this has been over 200% rally. This is huge for Amazon. This is as well getting to put us in a very good on a very good ground when you look at the general crypto market cap, because when you compare this to the general crypto market cap, these are stayed for decades. When you compare this to the general crypto market cap, we barely getting started. That's why you're seeing adoptions coming in across every corner of the world. That's why you see institutions getting to buy. We've literally been seeing lots of buys. So briefly, that's it for Amazon. We're briefly going to look at the Bitcoin treasuries, several Bitcoin treasuries, and normally get to see if there's any change on their buys and their holdings. Of course, I've been checking this particular data. For the past few weeks now, and nothing is literally changed. And then we have ETFs, major ETFs already holding about 815 bitcoins. Currently at over 27 billion we have right here. And then we have countries still around 259, and then we have public companies still around 213, and this is still very, very important. And the value today is over $7 billion. And then we have private companies, and then we have literally the total number of Bitcoin held by some treasuries already sitting around close to 1.5 million. This is huge, guys. This is still telling us that we are probably at this phase where generally everybody is seeing Bitcoin real cheap, and checking on that still remind me of what I've just talked about, the fear and greed index still in this possible bottoming scenario that could possibly be putting Bitcoin and the general crypto market cap to prices, of course, way higher than this. Remember, the trend is your friend until the end of that trend, and until that trend gets invalidated, you probably stick with the trend, because that's the best way of making real good bucks from the market. And when you look at it, when you put as well micro strategy into perspective, when you check on micro strategies move, you get to understand that I checked again. The last time I checked, I understood that I found that the micro strategy average total Bitcoin average buy price is sitting around the $26,000 mark, which is currently putting it at approximately $7,000 mark per Bitcoin that is already holding on their balance sheet. So that's it for Bitcoin treasuries. Of course, we're going to look at some on-chain tools and some historical price data, and of course, that's possibly telling us that this is it, guys. We could possibly be bottoming out, and Bitcoin could possibly be on this long-term rally, on this long-term macro rally that, of course, we checking on the sentiments and checking on emotions in the market right now. It's understandable that we kind of like not really ready for what is about to come. So we're going to look at the Bitcoin on the macro, what's actually happening. This is Bitcoin since 2000 and what that's Bitcoin since 2010 right there. We are on like this. Each candle right here you see on my screen represents a yearly candle, and when you look at it, it's kind of like, okay, we had the first red candle. We will say that, all right, from 2010 all the way from 2013, where we had 4 straight green candles. You can see probably there wasn't much enough volume, and that was when we are kind of like still on this accumulation phase, the early adoption phase of Bitcoin and the general crypto market. So then right there we had 2014, where we had a 1 year of bear market, okay, after seeing lots of gains over the years, and then that last year 2014, and the markets eventually started seeing this rally, all coming away from 2015, and it did have 3 years of green candles. That's 3 years of green candles. You see the 3 years of price data represented in 3 candles on the yearly scale. So now, of course, after that, around 2018, we had a severe bear market, which of course media was it went all media if the crypto markets have actually busted, if the long-term Ponzi scheme of Satoshi Nakamoto is finally coming to an end. After, of course, there was panic and all that. After the whole panic and after the whole fall, and Bitcoin still came back quite stronger, putting people that bought Bitcoin 2017 top, putting people that bought the 2017 Bitcoin top still in profit if you should check it. So now we had a bear market right there 2018, and right now checking on this checking on this data. Then we had Buron actually started 2019. Of course, he started 2019, which in 2019 we had lots of ups and downs, accumulations, and lots of crashes, lot of falls and crashes coming all the way from 2019. Then we had our 2020 yearly close, all coming around December 2020. That signals something very impressive. And the yearly, when you check, the yearly closed and opened at $28,900 approximately. And that's still, when I look at it, this is the yearly data. One candle represents price actions for a year. That means one candle, the top of the candle is a very strong support. And Bitcoin recently crashed twice. Bitcoin January crashed to that same level, 28,000, and bounced and went to new all-time high. And of course, last week we saw this sell-off, and it still came back to that same level, the $28,900 mark, and we are currently seeing this bounce off it. So that's a yearly support, not even the weekly, not even the monthly. That's a yearly support bouncing Bitcoin a couple of times, which still, when you look at it, is very, 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 very impressive. And when you look at the last bull year for every bull run that we've had, we've always had this huge green candle that do close, then bear market comes the following year. So if you should look at that, that means checking on the current candle on the yearly, we still very early. If you should, like, we still very early. Like, think about it. Check 2018 check 2013 before the bear market. We had this huge candle, huge yearly candle for the bear market, and as well 2017. All right, we had this huge yearly candle, okay, before the bear market, and now this is the third candle, probably the last phase of the bull run before we kind of like go into a mid-term or a short-term bear market before the rally gets to continue. And when you look at that candle, it still tells us that we could be ready for something way more greater. Like, it's still not, we've not yet seen this really huge surge in price after we broke our previous all-time highs, and after we've maintained and tested our yearly close and open a couple of times. So that's it for the Bitcoin on the yearly star. Still pointing this of course this huge rally to the upside. So what next? We're going to look at what we have next. That's the let's go to the Bitcoin beam indicator, which of course when you look at this is kind of like impressive, still telling us that it's not much of a price data represented on the chart. We already have it right there. We have it right there. It's barely new, so it's barely new indicator. We had the first time that it did flash a short signal at the top right there in 2017, and we saw how the crypto market reacted to it. We saw this huge price crash in price to the downside, which of course after that we accumulated on the green zone right under the screen. You can see it there before it's put up this long. Okay, then after the long, we've actually been seeing this gradual surge in price, but we've not actually seen another, and we've not actually, according to this indicator, we've not actually tapped the huge sell-off point. We've not actually tapped the huge sell-off point. If you should check, it's already, or the area already marked red to the upside. We've not actually touched it. And if you look at this price data and compare it to 2017, it's more like it's more like a script being played. Like it's more like a script being played. Right there we have it at probably July, still same July 2017. If we have to follow this fractal, still same July 2017. That's the exact thing Bitcoin and the general crypto market cap is replicating at the moment. So if we should follow this particular fractal, we could be heading probably to a new time high before the year ends, coming all the way to from late year to probably early next year. So Bitcoin, according to this indicator, we just literally left our buy points and we've not yet tapped the oversold, overbought territory. And while we're still on that, we're going to look at what next do we have. What next do we have? We have the Bitcoin. Good. We have the miners capitulation indicator. This most times actually gets to stir up the space where people talk about miners actually selling off, or are they still holding their bags? Have they actually started capitulating on their general Bitcoin rewards and holdings coming all the way from the pool, all the general activities they have been doing? So when you look at this price data, it's so obvious to understand that. Now look at, we had our first phase, we have the halving right there in 2013. And we saw this huge surge in price coming all the way to 2015. Where, of course, miners capitulated at this point that is showing red. This point that has been marked red in the chart. On the chart, we saw miners capitulate, and after that, we saw a bear market. And then we also had, that was our phase. First halving that we had there. Now we had our second halving coming in around 2017. Coming around 2016, late days of 2016, and we as well saw this huge surge in price until miners started capitulating. We saw them sell off at around where we broke, where we touched our all-time highs and validated a bear trend. And if we should get to compare these fractals, if we should get to compare these price actions, it's probably telling us perhaps we've not yet really got to that level. When you check on where Bitcoin is currently, you kind of like see going to match it with what we're having right there still at the mid 2017 before we saw that huge surge in price, which if you should check on that, we kind of like still barely on the whole general crypto market rally. So that's it for the mining. For the Bitcoin miners, we've not yet seen any sort of capitulation coming from their angles, and of course, looking on data and looking at information presented over time, accumulated over time, we still kind of like very, very barely early on the general crypto rally. So what next do we have? What next do we have here? We have the Bitcoin stock to flow index. I always talk about this. Now look at this. Look at this. It's beautiful. So it's so beautiful looking at the general trend ever since we initiated, ever since Satoshi Nakamoto invented this tech, this disruptive tech. No, we already have it. We already have this stock to flow. Right, we already had this stock to flow indicator, and we normally get to see it putting a top at the horizontal line coming way above us. And the last time I checked, it was sitting around the 102 to 120,000. That is where we probably get to have a blow off top and could possibly lead to the bear market before the trend continues in the years to come. So this indicator still points that we probably look at 2013 where we did this yellow signal. This yellow signal came in around here, 2013. We had it 2013 before we peaked, and then we accumulated for a while. And then this similar yellow signal that's flashing on the current market, we had it mid 2017. Then after the yellow signal flashed, all right, we saw this price movement to the top of this horizontal line, and way above it before the market had this blow off top and then had a prolonged bear market. So when you look at this data, okay, it still tells us that we probably are still at the very early stage of the general crypto Bitcoin bull bubble. So that still puts us to the point that when you check on literally everything that's going on, when you check on the on-chain data, when you check on the tools, when you check on the indicators, when you check on the price actions, and when you check on a lot of things that have been happening, institutions and countries, adoptions going around all corners of the world, it's still very, very, very obvious to understand that we are really ready for something great. So let's look at the next indicator we have right there. That's the Bitcoin power indicator, Bitcoin book power indicator. Now this is something very interesting that when you look at this, it's peaceful, is impressive. Like it's very peaceful. So coming all the way from 2013, and this indicator has actually been something very, very nice that gets to predict market top and bottom and accumulation phase before it gets to head in upper direction or probably start a bear market. So we have it right there coming all the way from 2013, and then we saw 2011 top. We currently have three lines. We have the purple line, we have the green, and then we have the red. All coming all gets to tell us every phase that the market is currently trading on. So right now we currently checking. We currently still above the green line, and whenever we break the green line, if you should check, whenever we get to break the green line, we come to the red line, okay, and the green line is kind of like a bull support until we have a blow off top, okay, and the red line is kind of like the bear support where we accumulate, okay, before price gets to see further continuation in price movement. So checking on this indicator, all coming from 2011, we've seen that we've not yet topped out. We've not yet properly hit the purple line in the general. We've not yet hit the purple line, which is all still coming out. And this line is exponential. It grows over time. Like it grows over time. It doesn't stay one place. Like it has a steep slope to the upside. Like it has this slope to the upside that as long as we keep maintaining this green line, there are huge chances that our target to the upside, keeps getting extended over time. And of course, look at right there in 2011. Okay, look at right there in 2013. Of course, when we had our first peak, our first sell-off, we still came back close enough to the green line. Okay, but then we never touched the green line properly. Look at it. It's beautiful. 2013, when we had our first sell-off. Remember this. Okay, that reminds me. This chart as well correlates with the Bitcoin macro chart that I shared that I shared to you some minutes ago. So when you see that when we break our previous all-time high, which is marked the green line, we never retested it. Now we had it in 2013 when we had our first sell-off coming there, and then we never retested this line, and then we had a blow off top at the purple line. That was when the market now picked this correction and broke the green line and found base at the red line and consolidated for a while before the macro rally continued at around 2016. Okay. Now we have it. Okay, now looking at also the 2016 data, we see that the market accumulated all the way from 2015, then broke out 2017, and still tapped the purple line before the market gets to see a correction and a correction down below the green line and found base at the red line and accumulates before the trend continued. So now currently in 2021, we also see similar price action. We also see similar price action. We also see price breaking above the green line, which marks the start of a bull market until we go below it and until we probably touch the top of the purple line. And when you look at this indicator, it still tells us that the general crypto market cap has not yet reached her peak. Like the market is still barely, and we just had our first sell-off, and we just had our best sell-off, and there's still more things to actually. There's still more price actions, more up price actions to expect from these current prices. So that's it for this particular indicator. Still putting the long-term Bitcoin perspective into our head, and so that's it for. And so far, checking on so far what we've discussed, checking on the indicators, checking on on-chain and historical data, checking on current price actions, and checking on the buys we're having from all angles, from institutions, checking on generally all projects coming around, all development coming around, all different projects in the space, or coming around all the Polkadot, the DeFi's, the NFTs. Like we've seen lots of development coming around the blockchain ecosystem, the crypto market overall. So it's still points us that we are generally still healthy and probably heading for a very more exciting price in the time to come. So briefly, I'm going to look at your questions right now. Share me your thoughts in the market. What are you currently seeing in the market, and what do you think? And if you are still new to this channel, you make sure you subscribe. You make sure you share across your social media platforms. You make sure you just like and get your friends on board. So I'm going to pick few questions coming in from the comment section. Just go on, let me know your thoughts, share me your thoughts, share me your thoughts, your views. just ask questions. I'm gonna pick few. I'm gonna pick few here. So we look at. I'm gonna pick few. So we look at. Let me know what you think about the market. So questions. Kind of like we're having a technical issue, but keep. Okay, just keep rolling your questions while the comment section get displayed on the screen. So when you, like I was saying, so when you look at the general adoption, across every country, across every development sector, it's still very healthy for the general crypto market. And as long as there's more projects built on the blockchain, built on the general market, built off the market, the more it attracts funds, the more funds comes into the market, and the more crypto market, the more general crypto market becomes very exciting. And checking on so far what we've discussed, it's been a crazy rally, it's been a crazy bull rally, and it's been a very boring accumulation range over the past 1 month. So keep rolling your questions, keep sharing. Keep making sure you share across all your social media platforms, hit the like button so you don't always, and tick the bell icon before I forget, tick the bell icon so you always get notified when we push similar content, so you don't always get to miss a beat whenever we upload something like this. It's nice having you once again, it's nice having you back here once again, so you keep keeping your questions, you keep rolling your questions, and still go on telling me what are the things you're currently thinking about the market. Just share me your technical view. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Remember, I said it's an interactive club, so we share our thoughts and share our views, and we have to learn from you. I don't know it all apparently, so let me know your views. So probably it could help me. So keep rolling your questions while that get displayed on the screen. Okay, more like we're having a technical issue. So where do you really think Bitcoin is going to? What are your price predictions? I want somebody to give me a question right there on the comment section. Where do you think Bitcoin is going to? And where do you think Ethereum is going to before the end of the year? Where do you think Cardano is going to? And where do you think Matic? Because we've always been seeing this hype around the whole Matic and Polygon network being the next big thing in the crypto market. Where do you really think Matic is going to? And at what point do you really think the general crypto market cap is going to see this blow off top? Are we going at some point going to hit? Are we going at some point see a huge surge in cap, more like getting close enough to the gold cap? Just share me your thoughts and just let me know your views in the market, and you know what you're talking about, and then what's your analysis on. And then we have what do we have right here? We have some comments showing right there. Let me see what they are talking about. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for being part of the stream today. So you make sure you always get to hit the like button, hit this like button, and click the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, and remember our target has always been $10,000. Come on, not really $10,000, but I don't know why I'm kind of like this, being this too familiar with prices. Everything I just add dollars to it, but 10,000 subscribers, yeah, not dollars. So the target is 10,000 subscribers in the meantime. So the target is 10,000 subscribers in the meantime, and okay, so you just make sure you hit the subscribe button, keep sharing across the social media platform, and then hit the like button. So what do we have here? This is a group. Wow, nice one coming from EK now. Remember, he is coming from group 5. He's a group 5 representative. That means, look at it, I already have it here. So if you want to join, stay connected to a community where you get to be exposed to lots of opportunities that's going on in the blockchain ecosystem. Lots of opportunities. It's not about trading, it's not about buying and selling Bitcoin, it's not all about trading altcoins or making shit tons of money or making a couple of bucks. It's just all about what more can you do in there. What more can you do aside trading? So you make sure you pick up the Trade and Make Money course and sign up to a premium community, so you get just exposed to what's going on generally, and what more opportunities you can get by being part of the blockchain, the next big disruptive tech industry. So not only the African continent, well, this is coming from Uche, and it's coming from African giants. So, well, I'm not gonna say I'm kind of like a giant, but well, thanks for the compliment. We have Kayode, Opeyemi, Okay, watch out for a wow and leg stretch show. Wow, this is Fireman with fire analysis. Well, I kind of like not see much questions coming here. This is from Uche Classic. Right on, Mr. Nolan, Christian, and the whole Dawa team. Yes, yes. But then this is we have from Turning Point. Okay, this is wonderful. Of course, that's all they talk about. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. That's why you don't need to mix it. That's why you don't need to mix it. That's why you just need to like keep sharing. So you get your family, you get your friends, real connected with us. So there as we get to learn and benefit from this disruptive tech that is kind of like shaking the whole industry and getting banks lose sleep. So what we have, this is the group. Oh, okay. And then one more question, Nolan. What is the name? Okay, of the last indicator. The last indicator, that was the Bitcoin power. Yeah, that was the Bitcoin. That was the power indicator, power boost second indicator. And then this is who is this? No more like nobody is pulling up some really nice questions coming in from what I've discussed so far. So let's see more questions. Okay, this is it. This is all the questions that I've got right here. So remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember to like, and just remember to hit that bell icon on top and click on that notification so you don't always get to miss a beat when something like this gets uploaded in our channel. This is going to be an ongoing series. You're going to have this same live section coming week, so you make sure you subscribe and you make sure you just share it across your social media platform. And don't forget, if you want to get connected to our social media, to our premium community where you get exposed to lots of opportunities that's available in the blockchain and Bitcoin ecosystem, you make sure you visit www.daba.school and sign up for the trade and make money course. You get added to the community. So thanks for staying live with me. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you. So let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm a beginner. Where can I start from? Okay. Oh, as a beginner, like I said, as a beginner, where can I start from? You can start from picking up a course. Okay, if you're not yet signed up for a course, you can just pick up our course. That our course gives you a real guidelines to what you really need to understand about this about this whole space, and how you can position yourself for the next for how you can position yourself generally for next big wealth industry. Because this is the big, like, it's no doubt the big industry, the big industry that wealth can as well be drawn from. So, okay, go on, Augustine, just go on and pick up the course so you get added to our community. So you just get to learn more about what we actually, do offer, because we have a lot of stuff we offer, actually lots of stuff to offer. Then Uche, what do you think? Yes, you think Matic will hit $10? Yes. This is not okay. You don't just make future price predictions. One thing, because when you make future price predictions, you as well get to cloud your judgment, makes you biased and makes you give biased judgment in the market, and you'll be like, since you've already programmed your brain to believe that Matic is going to $10, that means if Matic should start dumping or you start pulling this crazy move to the downside, you're still going to stick with that particular destiny. Well, it's not kind of, but checking on the whole, it's not kind of, it's not very good doing that. But then checking on the overall development coming on the Matic and the whole Polygon network, and checking in there are lots of the team is currently working hard. The team is currently working hard, all right, and we are still about to see another huge flow in cash to the market. Remember, I always say that the first bull bubble, and that after it we have our first sell-off, it's kind of like a fundraising. It's kind of like a fundraising, and it's kind of like a fundraising to the market, which in the sense that actually, so that brings us to the question where that brings me to where I normally ask, where do you really think the 1 trillion that left the crypto market cap, where did it actually went to? Like, where is it? Was it stolen by some sort of a thief? Were we robbed? So if you should check, if that money should come back again to the market, it's basically the phase 2 bubble, the phase 2 market bubble always come with us the us market picking up their rally first. Bitcoin will come later in the game. That's why you're seeing Bitcoin react slowly. The phase 2 bubble always come with the altcoins leading the game. So if that should happen, and if more money should come into the market, it's going to be pumped directly to the us market. That's where you now see us like outperform. So Matic as well can get to touch $10 mark, because I think the last time I checked, the market cap of Matic is still sitting around 1 billion, I can't remember, but checking on the whole Matic developments and the whole team working and the money that's about to hit the crypto market, because of course the crypto market, no doubt, with the developments and all that, we could be heading for a $6 trillion market cap, or we could be, I'm telling you, so get to spread that money across every market. You see that, of course, the altcoin is going to benefit from it in the long run, and they can as well get a touch crazy target. That's it for Matic. And okay, will Bitcoin touch? Okay, let's talk about this is coming from Diet and Wellness. Let's talk about how important the $47,000 mark is to the general crypto or market, which is in line with our huge supply zone. Okay, and if we get to break that on the weekly, get to consolidate above it on the weekly, and as well getting to check on lots of on-chain tools and on lots of on-chain tools and data telling us that we kind of like heading for something greater, it's possible that we hit to 71,000 this year. It's possible that we leave this particular point in price, we just go straight right back up. Like, there are lots of signs showing that we could possibly be heading to 71,000 before the year ends. And then, okay, wow, this is coming from all Lawele, BTC 75,000, ETH. This is still possible. There are lots of tools already signaling this. There are lots of technicals. There are lots of fundamentals already signaling that we could be possibly at just the bottom and ready for some sort of a very nice surge in price over the next month. So I want to say, of course, everything is very, very positive in the market, and there's still more money to okay, this is Adeola still say something. Okay, so it looks like this is all the questions we have here for today. And thanks for staying with us. Thanks for watching live with us. Thanks for just staying connected with us. And don't always forget to hit that subscribe button, and that's the bell icon. Don't always miss that, so you get to notify anytime we do something like this. You wouldn't love to miss a bit of this particular sections that will be coming in the next week. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to join our community if you want to become a premium subscriber. See you next week.